I'm gonna amplify that since I'm being a bit quiet. Let's amp you up to here. Then that should be fine, I hope. Okay, and then pull up this real quick and tap you. Okay, cool. And it is working at a normal speed. And then there we go. And then let me quickly go over to you and check that you work. As long as that works, we're chilling. It does not seem the pen is working. Okay. Great. That's fine. Let me actually... Hold up. I'll go for the voice guy recording and just delete that post. Just gonna delete it for a bit. And then I need to refigure out OBS stuff, I suppose. Okay, let's do you now. Transform. Yeah. We did this last time. And now let's go to the projector. See what happens. There we go. Hooray. And then, just while that does that thing, its thing, just quickly go over here and then reset the music. And we're done. Okay. There we go. Maybe I should move pen out of it. Why is this song so loud? Oh my. Okay, hold up. I need to fix my music before I do anything with review. Why is this song so loud? I need to be able to hear my thoughts. And now, hopefully everything chill down a little bit. Okay, now my music shouldn't be yelling. But yeah, this is just me looking at Final Weapon versus pretty much whoever. This opening is odd. Okay, hold up. Why is the song so loud still? I like the song. I don't want. You know what? I'm just gonna go without music, I suppose. I can write about this later. Oh, wait, that didn't clear anything. Okay, that is odd. Whatever. This? I guess I want to let the opening play out. I don't like this play though. Like a brush, I like brush taking an off angle. I like pen going here. Pro shouldn't be behind ever. At least in attorney setting. But this is fun. I just want to see how this plays out. Oh, this is odd. Okay. I'm just gonna let this play out for a bit, and I'm gonna look back and see. Because this brush is flying very weird. I understand the sharking, I understand what they're looking for, but the rest of their team is playing weird. Yeah, okay. Let me start over on this and then point out the stuff I'm noticing. I'll fast forward through the start since I already said my thoughts. Like, something I find really weird is they're really relying on this brush to get in alone. Like, I understand that it's nice to be able to rely on someone to get in. The thing is, they have to rely on brush. And, like, this brush can get shot really easily. Like, in this case, they don't, but I think this is more so because the enemy team is messing up. Like, S-Blast is over here, they kind of die, but, like, you have Splash over here in Narnia. And, like, both Splashes are in Narnia, sure, but if you know that this is the one thing you need to deal with it. Because I'm not seeing the enemy team want to deal with that, so they're kind of relying on Brush getting in. Like, Brush does get in, this is great, and Brush goes for a Shark. Which, on paper, this is fine, like, Brush is watching this right side. The issue that I run into... Okay, there's a crab. Actually, this scenario is weird. Oh, hi, Mystic. Hold on, give me 2 seconds to turn up my brightness so I can fucking read what you're saying. There we go. But yeah, like, this opening stuff's gonna be fine. I know that Final Weapon loses this game, and I wonder where. Because, like, I'm looking at this position, and it's... Like, the biggest issue that I'm seeing with Final Weapon right now is they're giving this much of a gap. And if you saw me yelling at Moonlight, this team is not any different. I will yell at Final Weapon as well. Like, you shouldn't ever have the same gap as Zone between your teammates. And yes, Brush is sharking. Like, again, you have a Splash over here. Like, your Splash can at least be standing up here to help. Splash can sit here, paint. If Decaf wants to go in, Brush goes back and just gets a kill here. Like, there's a lot of easy stuff to set up. You just have to go with your Brush here. And in this case, they don't. And it's kind of fine, kind of not, because this entire right side gets busted open, but, like, the enemy team is also kind of just letting the Brush do what they want over here. Like, I want to point out the biggest issue that I've been seeing so far, because Pro took this line. Like, they went in, they went over here, they crabbed, and now they're all the way over here. Like, this is 30 seconds into the game, and they've made zero actual forward progress. Like, they have not gotten past zone. And then what their Splash has done is their Splash went something like this. They went here, they got strikes for a bit, they went down here, now they went back up here again. And, like, they're literally relying on all of their force coming from this Brush. Which is fine, but I have a feeling what's going to happen, like, not even knowing the outcome, or just knowing the outcome of this game. What's going to happen is Russia is going to die once, and they're just going to get locked out. I'm going to flip the graph to see if the time's right. That's actually a pretty accurate guess on time. Or at least on time alone. Because, yeah, like, this is the exact same thing. Like, this Splash just doesn't help their rush at all. So, like, sure, what's going to happen is Penn's just going to die to the Pro over here. And then, like, the enemy team is confined to, like, the right side of the stage. But the issue is their rush is dead. And I've not seen any of them really fighting. And this is just kind of going off of what I saw yesterday and being cynical, but, like, if Pro doesn't push up here and Splash doesn't push up here, or Hellpen doesn't push up here, like, someone needs to push up and force a fight. Because if they don't, what's going to happen is Splash is going to why is my pen not working on this? Like, Splash is gonna come in on this. S-Boss is gonna come over here and just shred the Splash. Like right now, both Splashes are kind of in a weird spot where they're anchoring everything, and if they die, the rest of the game state goes with them. Okay, so I was slightly wrong, but I really wasn't that far off premise. Because, like, Penn decided they were going to sit over here, which on paper is fine. The issue is the entire enemy team was somewhere in this area. And, like, if you want to fight as Penn, sure, be my guest. I actually actively encourage it, but you are in range for a decav to come here and shoot you. Or, like, you were in range for Splash to sit here, like, step forward 2 seconds and just double burst you. Because if they just double burst, you're just going to die. And that's kind of what happens as Splash gets the kill instead of Splash, but that's whatever. And, like, again, this Splash hasn't really gone past mid. That is such an ugly line. Like, I've not seen the Splash really go past this line. Like, I've not seen them enter mid proper, or go past mid. And kind of what that's been leading to is Brush tried to get over here, couldn't force an alone. And Brush, like, when Brush got in, they stopped here. Now, granted, like, Brush also made the mistake of going through this line, which you don't need to do. You can just go through here. Or if you want to trust your teammates, do something like this or this. Because if you get knocked to Brush in, like, over here somewhere, or somewhere on your plat, just somewhere in this area, somewhere up here, it's really hard to pin it down, but you also have to look for it. Like, you have to look for that opening, and Brush just went over here instead. This is still kind of pitiful for, like, a comp that I was told I would really like, and thought I would really like. This is fine-ish. I just want to point out something with how the enemy team is positioning and what should happen. I'm not sure if it will. So you have Decaf who's over here, they're not doing anything. You have Penn who's over here, and they're not really doing anything. Like, yes, I know Penn can paint to, like, up to here. Decaf can come over here and kill you if you're slow. The thing is, though, like, right now they have all 4 of their players up, and if they just drop right side, it's really rough to stop this. Like, let's go with a pretty realistic scenario. Like, they just drop here, you have to deal with S-Blast, that's fine. Like, let's say you commit your pro forward, your pro dies because you commit to the S-Blast. That's fine, your Brush follows up behind it, and they're going to trade out S-Blast. And this leaves you in a really valuable spot, because yes, Decaf's going to be coming in. But you just have to deal with the Splash. Like, unless this pen feels like dropping and getting into the fight, all you have to do is deal with 2 people over here, which is super easy. Like, they have a pen, so, like, let me clean this up real quick. Like, if pen sits here, or, like, pen drops here, for example, pen can literally just have a set. That's way too far of a line, whatever. Like, if their pen wants to full commit down, they can just full commit down and very easily deal with this entire angle. Yes, this feels with the fact, like, yes, you need to sacrifice someone, because right now the biggest issue is, you know, S-Blast is going to be somewhere over here. You don't know where exactly they're going to be, just somewhere in this general area. What I have a feeling is going to happen, though, is they're going to be trying to paint, like, over here and over here, trying to get specials, instead of just full sending. Because, like, right now the enemy position is really weak, because if you, hold up, let me get an actual, let me use the, yeah, you've got to be kidding me, I don't care about any of that. Apparently I can't use the handy dandy line tool, whatever. But I'm just going to cut a line through the center of zone, because this is kind of how I view the game whenever I look at things. Because you kind of have, there's a few ways you can angle zone. Like, realistically, if you want to, holy, y'all are going to have to deal with me drawing some terrible lines. Unfortunately, that is all I can do, because Epic Pen does not have a line tool for free. And I don't feel like using that. You know, we're just going to politely ignore the fact that none of these lines go through, like, the exact middle. Like, this is how you can split the stage in half. You can split it in half. Normally, you can split it in half to, like, this is your side, or you can do the inverse. The reason I bring this up is, like, if you split the stage in half here, that's a terrible one. Like, if you were to split the stage in half here, right now, you can have your entire team drop this right side, and this thing's just gonna die. Because no one else is on or, like, close enough to this line to be able to fight. On paper, Splash can, but realistically, like, if they're gonna full commit anything, all that's gonna happen is you're gonna get a trade scenario like this. Because effectively what you'd have is, like, drop your pro, drop your brush, cool. that is with S Blast. Splash is going to just burst whatever drops. And kind of realistically, if they're just full committing forward, just snipes the fucking Splash. However, yeah, like what I was expecting to happen happens. And like if you want to do the same thing, this is honestly an even better position for Final Weapon. I think the issue is they're playing in a comp that wants to play aggressive, like you're playing with an Octobrush, and they aren't actually leaning into the aggression. Like a lot of what is being set up right now is, oh yeah, we were wanting to wait for specials. Because like they have strikes. I think strikes are coming out at this moment. Yeah, they are. Like strikes are coming out, you have Zip right now. I think Crab is probably online soon. Yeah. And same with Gore. The issue I have with it though is like you could have just dropped this right side. Because what's probably gonna happen is the entire enemy team is gonna back up to here, while Decav commits over here. And like on paper, this seems fine because there's kind of the idea of, oh yeah, just go forward. The issue is, hold up, let me clear this. Like the issue is you're gonna get Pen over here, you're gonna get S-Blast over here, and you're gonna get Slash over here. So you literally just can't cross mid. Like there just becomes, let me use Whack real quick, just to make it very easy to see. Like there just becomes this massive line in mid. And the reason that matters is, like the decav that wants to flank over here is eventually going to catch up. And once they do, you can't get past this line in mid, and you have to go forward because of the decav. So you're running into some issues with that. And I think that's why this push is going to fail. Kind of actually, it's different, but not for the reasons I imagined. Because what you have is you have Splash drop right side, and you have two people go left. I want to point one thing out. It's just a decav. Just put one weapon on it or ignore it. Because like what they're letting happen is they're putting two people on the decav over here, which on paper sounds fine. It's whatever, but like you're having two people over here, and you're honestly leaving your like weakest fighting weapons to have to fight alone on the right side. I did not mean to draw that, but you know what? That works for my point. Like this right side is gonna get blown up real quick. Because realistically, Slash should just come forward, S-Blast should just go forward and kill this, and you just kind of trust Pen to hit their shot. Because like your final weapon is overcommitting over here really hard. And like yes, you're gonna get this kill. Like let's say you trade out, because I think that's the scenario they're worried about. Is oh yeah, they're gonna trade, or they're gonna get jumps behind and they want to kill early, which I have different takes to, but eh. Like if you trade out, your pro still has to take a year to get back into the point where they can actually fight. And that's gonna be the biggest issue. Because like top level play is faster than the average player. But what typically happens is their engagements end up faster, not they play faster in position. Which is a really important distinction because this fight over here in the S-Boss, which is probably eyeing this Pen, this fight's gonna end quickly. Like, I'm just gonna let this fight out because I want to see how this happens. Yeah. So like literally instantly the fight on the left side gets wrapped up. And if you notice what's happening is this entire the right side, which mind you, this has been free the entire time. Like this right side just isn't being pushed. So like the enemy team is letting the S-Boss get away with holding about this much space for free. Like, mind you, they had 4 players over here. Like they had Splash here, they had their Brush here, they had their Pro here. And I think their Pen was here at one point. Like, they had everyone set up in a position to just nuke this right side. Like, if the enemy team is going to give you a free in, take it. Because, like, right here, if you were, like, let's say you had your Octobrush over here, who should be over here anyways, mind you, but, like, if Brush was here, they just drop. Like, S-Blast overcommitted, they just drop the S-Blast, and suddenly this entire right side is theirs. And, like, now what Final Weapon can do is they don't need to worry about anything until, like, up to here. Which is fine, because now you can get your Pen up here, and Pen can help take this angle. And like if Pen is taking this angle, now you open up the flanks. Like if the Splash dropped right side and fought the S-Blast who was over here, now you could flank. The issue is you flanked alone and you flanked early. Like that's the only reason they died. Yeah, and now like the S-Blast is literally just running the entire game for no reason. Like, I want to point out another thing, because I noticed this with a lot of teams in general, but I also noticed it a lot on top level, which is saddening to me, but not much I can do about it. They're pushing in a moment like this. And I actually like the idea of the Zipcaster. Because as long as Zipcaster stays alive, like, let's say Zip goes up to here, then over to here, and he's just focused purely on grabbing attention, it actually should be fine. The issue is, no one's actually close enough to fight with this. Like, for how their comp's wanting to run, they're wanting to wait for their Pro and Splash to be able to fight. Splash is like a good 5 seconds out from being able to fight. And as I was saying yesterday, like, when you put a special in, because you're putting a special in here, because the entire idea of Zipcaster is you want to muddle this entire area. Like, you want to muddle like the entire backside of zone. That's the idea of the Zipcaster. I'm like, okay, that sounds great. The issue is, like, I'm just gonna let's just box off the area that Zipcaster wants to affect, because this is roughly the area that the Zipcaster is wanting to threaten and make really messy for the enemy team. This sounds great. The issue is, if you're popping Zipcaster, they're going to expect this same amount of force here, which is fine. But the other thing is like because it's top level, I know they're expecting this. They're going to be expecting force to come from somewhere over here as well, which on paper sounds fine. This isn't really that much of an issue. However, like, as soon as this caster ends, right, this entire left side gets cleared up. So all they have to do is apply force here. And the reason I bring that up, and the reason I'm bringing up Zipcaster so hard, is they're expecting to put the same amount of force out onto this decav as they've been getting onto them, like, the entire time. Hold up 1 second, I want to check something. Because I'm getting DM'd by Yoshi. Oh, that's why I was getting DM'd. Okay. That's fine. I really don't care too much about that right now. But yeah, like, this caster is going to come in, and what's going to happen is they're pretty much trapping the two weapons that want to fight after. They're trapping them because suddenly the enemy team is expecting all of this force to be coming up through here. Because, like, they know Pen's going to be over here, but they don't know if Splash is going to go over here, or if it's going to go over here, or if it's going to try to go flank all the way over here. Like, they don't know what Splash is going to do. So they're just going to sit in a high gear for a bit. And I have a suspicion that's what's going to happen. Because, like, if you notice, this Civcaster was focusing, like, in this case, it was a little different. Because they've mainly been focusing, like, this area. They're just boxing in and they died. But I want to point out, if you notice, only two people focused on them. Like, the decav and S-Blast focused on them, which is great. But you know how I was talking about the enemy team's going to gear up force over here? Look here, right? What's right here? The funny little crab. And, like, I agree with this crab because it literally has a sight line to shut off everything over here. And then everything over here. So, like, what's going to happen because of that, like, really early zip is now there's going to be a lot of force coming through here, and final weapon actually isn't going to have a lot of space to operate with. Like, a crab in this position is brutal, especially because they don't have tools to just work around it. Like, I want to point out something with crab because I'm seeing it again. This entire, like, right side is open. I'm not going to say it's free, but I'm going to say it's open. And the reason that matters is you can sneak, like, a splash behind here. Or you could, like, if the pro was looking to go over here, you could get the pro to go over here. Like, if you can sneak someone out on the right side, it really undermines the entire position. Because how a lot of people like to play is, okay, we're going to put someone over here, we're going to have... I've been noticing the pen's been gravitating to, like, there or over here a lot. Then you've been having, like, the fucking decav sit over here, and then you have then you kind of have your fourth somewhere in this entire area. I'm going to swap over to yellow, because I like yellow. Wait, can you... Okay, you can see this. Cool. If you can sneak someone behind here, you only have to worry about this position. And realistically, if you're taking the fight on your terms, it's really easy. So what's going to happen is you can kill either one of these positions if you get a flank. And now suddenly you're having someone who's sitting here. And the reason this is so valuable is the enemy team has to worry about what's coming from, like, behind them over here, and also what's coming from over here. Which, yes, this is, like, obvious, this is basic stuff, but I don't actually see enough people talk about this or, like, the advantages of doing that. I'm swapping back to... I guess I'm swapping over to blue. Sure. But the reason that matters is you can let people come into, like, here for free. Or you can have someone else drop through here for free, because someone's typically going to sit here. And if they have to worry about what's coming behind them, they can't deal with two threats on either side. Like, that literally just overloads the player. Like, the issue of what's been happening is it's been really, really traditional play. Like, what's been happening is they've been waiting for strikes from the splash. Like, the one push that they... Why was that marking? Excuse me, pen. Okay. Like, what they've been waiting for is they're going to be, like, striking over here. Like, I think these are the 3 spots that they're striking, roughly. Or that they've been striking. They've been striking somewhere in zone, but then they just kind of go flank. And the issue with this is it's really predictable. It's like, if you're wanting to commit a special like this, that's fine. But now the enemy team knows you have invested interest in trying to take over here. So, like, realistically, all they have to do is take, like, a player who's sitting over here, rotate them over here, and just make sure they don't die. And I have a feeling what's going to happen is the splash is going to drop, because this splash has been playing more aggressive than the fucking brush. So yeah, like, what happens if you notice is literally what I said. Like, they rotated the decav over here. Decav ends up dying, but that's fine. But decav gets what they wanted, and splash tried to drop here, which is literally what I was saying is predictable, because it's very predictable to go for that. The issue that's going to happen now is there are 2 people over here, like, behind that line. The reason that is an issue is, again, you just can't get his own in time. Because, like, at this point, S-Blast is just going to be stalling a fight, because, like, this pro really shouldn't be over here. Like, if someone's trying to take this area of the map, hell, you can even extend it to, like, over here. If someone's in this general area of the map, you actually don't need to worry about them. At least not immediately. Like, you do need to make sure that they can't just go all the way behind you like this. But that's also really, really easy to avoid. But if someone's over here, you just have free reign to drop over here. Because, like, realistically, like, let's assume perfect world, right? S-Blast is sitting over here. Cool. They're somewhere in this area. If you commit 4 people on the right side, S-Blast isn't going to do anything. Like, by the time S-Blast can get back, the fights in mid are going to get wrapped up. And then the other thing is, if you run over, the S-Blast has to go through here. And there's 2 ways. One is they go over ledge, they drop, and then they go forward, or they go over grades. And either is actually really advantageous. Because if they go over grades, they're slowed, and if they drop, it's, oh, hey, look, there's an S-Blast right here midair. You don't even have to look hard for it. Like, the issue is that there's not actually been a lot of folks on the right side. No, if they get an in here, don't get me wrong, this is fine. Just for this in, they have a crab over here who can't actually fight anything for a moment. And they have to sacrifice, like, Brush is trying to go on the left side, which on paper makes sense, you don't want to die, but again, there's a reason I'm harping on this right side, because right side opens up a lot. Like, right side can get you through zone, you can cut through the left side of zone, or you can try to go for their spawn. That, or you can also try to flank behind them. Like, going right side gives you a ton of options to work with, and that's why people will... Where is Pink Look? There it is. Like, that's why people will put someone here. Like, the reason you have someone stand over here is to make sure you can't take any of these lines. But if you can deal with the person over here, you get all of these lines back for free. When you're on the left side, really similar issues to what I was saying with the S-Blast. It's really predictable, because you can go through here, or you go through here and you make yourself known, and then you choose a side of mid. Like, yes, you can go over here. The issue is, as soon as you cross this wall, like, for this entire segment of movement, you're seen. And if you're seen, that means you're not that much of a threat. Like, obviously, you're going to be an issue. You can say, okay, you know what I'm going to do, and you just have to deal with it. But that's not what a lot of people do. Hold up, sorry, I am checking one thing. Okay, cool. And let me do... Okay, cool. Mic stuff has been going fine, I think. I shouldn't be too quiet, I hope. But that's besides the point. Like, Final Weapon has been so focused on the left side. How can you even tell what's going on from this angle? Just a lot of practice, unless you mean, like, if you're on the left side, and in that case, you really can't do anything. Like, if you're going on Like, if you're going in on the left side, you just don't have a ton of sight. I'm just gonna let this play out, because this is just where the game ends. Because, like, the issue that happens is they committed 3 players over here, and all the enemy team has to do is watch this wall and watch this wall. Like, if you watch anywhere on this angle, the enemy team literally cannot get in. Because again, when you're going in from here, let me swap over to pink, which is a bit more vibrant. Like, anything over here is super easy to see. And then you just have to watch 2 spots. Like, you have to watch this area over here, and you have to watch this area over here. And anything that goes through, like, left side up to here, you just see it. Like, on paper, going left is nice, going left is semi-consistent, and going left gives you a few options to work with. However, if you can go through the right side like this, it gives you a lot more options. Because, like, this wall works with you here. It's also a lot harder to deal with you when you go here, because it's like, okay, you have the straightest line possible. You get hidden by this wall, or you just decide to go somewhere else. But if you do that, you can get hidden by this wall and then go up. Like, the fact that you have the threat of, okay, I'm either going to go here or I'm going to go here, and it's hard to see, is why it's valuable to go right side. And then, yeah, like, at this point, it's literally just too late. Like, Final Weapon is running into an issue that I was seeing yesterday, where just a lot of teams will rely on one player to get in, and then they give them absolutely zero support to work with it. Because, like, if you play Octobrush, play Octobrush. Octobrush has a lot of strengths and can force a lot of things. But if you're going to force Octobrush, you can't just play Octobrush. You have to play Octobrush with its pros and cons. Because I'm not going to sit here and be like, oh yeah, Octobrush is the strongest weapon in the game. I honestly prefer Paintbrush in place of it. Granted, that's my personal taste. But if you're going to be playing a brush, and especially Octobrush, you have to deal with, like, you need to play into it. You can't just be adding it onto a pre-existing comp. Because, like, I'm going to, like, I want to look at this comp real quick and just use the pen tool real quick. Like, I want to point this out because this is how I think the comp happened. A lot of people want pen, cool, you're going to run pen. You're going to run pro, this gives you mid-range, this pairs with pen, great. You want to run splash, this gives you paint, this gives you a lot of things to work with, right? Now the idea is you want something to fight with. The thing is, at least in my opinion, Octobrush has a really weird time getting in just with this comp. Because if this thing decides, oh yeah, I'm going to pop strikes, cool, you now lock off what the Octobrush wants to do because it's predictable. Oh, we want to pop Crab. Okay, this is actually workable. Like, Crab's a lot more workable, but Crab has to be popped in good spots. Because if it's not, Crab actually can't influence the fight. And the user can't influence the fight for at least the next 2 seconds. Cooler is fine. Like, there's really nothing trying to play off of what Octobrush wants to offer. Because Octobrush is kind of a jack of all trades, but it can lean into a lot of fighting strengths. Like, I think it can pair well with Pro. Obviously, I'm not as confident because I'm not an Octobrush player, I'm a tank player. I just don't like the Splash with it. Like, if I could trade Splash for something that could fight, I would do it, like, in a heartbeat. I'm not sure what I would trade it for. Personal bias would be Brella. Because it gives the Octobrush something to fight and stall with. And if Brella catches anything on its shield, it's, oh, hey, I'm just gonna run in here real quick and just kill them. I also feel mixed on Pen, but Pen is just kind of one of those weapons I'm always gonna feel mixed on. Anyways, now we're gonna go into the one game that NA took off of JP, and I want to point out why JP lost. Because I'm doing a lot of this stream just to, like, I'm looking over this stream mostly to just talk about how JP isn't really all that they're cracked up to be. They have weaknesses. Because at least in my eyes, they're making almost identical mistakes to what NA has been doing. The thing is that JP plays, like, JP isn't afraid to just die because they know dying isn't, like, the end all be all. They know dying isn't just like, oh yeah, you die and you lose the game on the spot. Because there's kind of that, like, connotation with a lot of teams, and especially in a lot of discussions. But anyways, yeah. I will say I actually like this comp a lot more like Stamper with, I need to change off of, wait, okay, hold up. This is so sad. Like I like Stamper, Brush, and Pro. Because like this makes a lot more sense. Even if you put Octobrush into this comp, this makes a lot more sense for me. Because like this with Octobrush would actually pair well with itself, and it's not trying to fight with itself. And again, as I said, Pro is fine, and then you just kind of have Pen in the background. At this point, because I'm curious on opening stuff. Okay, so like I want to find something out on opening because I love this opening and I hate this opening at the same time. So Rush is going in over here, and this is great because what Rush is going to do is effectively threaten to go over here. The reason this is so important is it disables pretty much both sides. Because like the enemy team has to be worried of, okay, they're going to push over here. So now what Pen has to do is focus on keeping this angle on lock. And what Bucket has to do now is focus on keeping this angle on lock, which is really advantageous. And then you have Stamper coming in. And if Stamper just full commits in on this opening, it's now like suddenly Gray and Gauss have to keep an eye on this angle. And if you could get them to have to keep an eye on these angles, with just 2 players, you have your pro come in for free. Or if you want to go on the other side, what you can have happen is, okay, so you're going to have Bucket and Pen focusing over here, which is really good. Like, this is what you want to see. And then you just have Brush just commit over here. And the reason that matters is you're having your Stamper coming over here. And that's what I love about this opening. What I hate about the opening is what this pro is doing over here. Because what you want to have is someone standing like roughly right here. Because if the enemy team focuses on this angle, cool. You get the pro to come in over here. If they want to focus on over this angle, you have the pro coming over here. Or you just have them follow up behind. Or even better yet, what you can have happen is something like this. Probably Gray focuses Stamper, and then you just have the shot run forward. And you have Rush focusing this. And if you get Pro here, Pro just kind of sits here and shuts it down the entirety of the right side or the left side. Like Pro standing here takes full advantage of this opening. Again, as I've been saying, the issue is your Pro is back here instead of over here. It's a really big issue because if Pro's over here, this opening is going to go super cleanly. And like, if you notice what I was saying happens, like you have a Bucket focus this angle, you have Pen focus this angle. So like these two are offline. And then you have the Stamper focusing on right side. And like Gray is at least keeping an eye on this angle. So like you have these angles unlocked. But you don't have the pro standing here to take advantage of it. Because if pro was here at this point, they literally can just shoot the S-Blast, turn, shoot the Bucket, turn, and shoot the shot. And like all of those are super easy kills, which you don't even have to think about. You just need to aim. But like pro's all the way over here. So like pro in staying back with Pen literally ruins the entire opening. And all for what to have what how close are they to crab? Because I think that's what they want. Yeah, you're only 50% of the way to crab. And like what's gonna happen now is like because they're like they committed someone over here and someone all the way over here, like you don't have anyone to take the middle. So now what's gonna happen is the enemy team is gonna be pushing that force back. I'm going to switch over to yellow real quick since it's nice and vibrant. What's going to happen now, though, is suddenly the funnel of force, which they made intentionally so, mind you, is going to come back at them. And like, suddenly this pro is going to just end up in a 1v4, or this pen's going to end up in a 1v4. Like, something that I want to talk about for openings that I don't see talked about enough, if you're wanting to have someone take the side, you need someone who's taking advantage of it. Because you're having Rush go, like, over here. You're having them go over here and you're wanting them to draw attention, which is great. I love doing that. Cool. Who's gonna take advantage of the space that gets made over here? And what Final Weapon said is, okay, we're gonna put the Stamper, and the Stamper's gonna take advantage of this space. So now you don't need to worry about this space anymore. So all the space that you have to worry about is, let me highlight this in yellow. You only have to worry about this area. But again, the issue that you run into is your pro who would be here, who would be in the perfect Splat to actually take care of, the fact that you only have to worry about, what was the angle that I said? You only need to really worry about this area. Like, if pros here, they can just worry about and take advantage of this area for free. Like, if you want to play opening stuff, go for it. If you want to play for special, full commit for special. Like, you have all of this area over here in your spawn. If you want to play for special, play for special. Like, if you're going to commit to a fighting opening, commit to a fighting opening. You can't get the best of both worlds. You can have a one-player play back, but you can't have two. Like, if you notice what I was talking about earlier, how there was a funnel of force being made like this because of how they were moving, notice how they're moving. They're moving literally perfectly within this window. And this is just how they redirected the force onto themselves. And now the issue is going to be is how do you get out? Granted that I really don't think that I don't think the other side is really doing well in this, because what Final Weapon can do is just kind of commit to here and commit to here. Like, you put Pro up here, you put Brush over here, because the enemy team is so focused on this left side. Oops, I do not want that. Like, what happens instead is Brush wants to push over here, which on paper seems fine. The issue is you're now shoring up their defense over here. And suddenly, because you gave away where you were wanting to push, they're just going to focus over here. Now they're just going to worry about making sure there's not a flank. And now suddenly, everything that you want to do on your retake is going to get shut down. And yes, I know the gamble that they're wanting to play for is they want to set up the crab. And on paper, setting up the crab is great. I hate trying to set up crab because you should be able to retake without your specials. Unironically, in my view, if you cannot retake without using your specials, you're playing wrong. Yeah, and Pro literally dies anyways. Oh, 5 minutes, whatever. He'll have to deal with that ringing with me. Look, I actually want to point out something really funny. You know how I was talking about, this right side's free, and they can take it? They did just, when did I roughly say that? Probably sometime around here-ish? I'm keeping an eye on the time. I want to see... It was just before Brush pushed up. Yeah. So, right here, they could have just gone the right side. And right side would have been super free. But what they do is they commit left side instead. And they waste 10 seconds. They waste 10 seconds and then push over here anyways. If you want to push over on this side, that's fine. I actively encourage pushing on that side, because that's what I do for my pushes. It's just, if you're going to do that, you have to commit this side. You can't play this game of footsies. You have to just full commit to something eventually. And notice the second they do, S-Blast just gets dropped, cool. Pens both have some fire on each other, or Pen can be watching over here. Pen's going to take someone else out, and then, a Stamper's in range to fight things. The issue is they took so long to fight that now, and the pro decided they wanted to go on their own adventure, and they just killed themselves. So now the pro's going to be too far out of position. Because let's say that the pro was here, for example. Pro can now suddenly just go fight the bucket. Okay, let's say they just trade out. Let's just say worst case scenario, they both trade out. Okay, you now have a Stamper versus Pen. You have a Stamper versus a shot, and you have Pen versus Pen. I'm ignoring the Pens because they effectively cancel out. The issue is, again, they just waited to commit for open space. And what happens is Bucket commits in, Bucket dies to the pro who went over here earlier and died anyways. But that's besides the point. And then Stamper opens up the right side. Give me 1 second real quick. we are good. Let me open it up. There's the projection that I was using, and apparently I was muted. I apparently tapped the unmute button twice. I am very, very smart. You know, normal things. Anyways, hold up, let me back up to where it was so I can say what I was saying. Y'all should be able to hear me now. It looks like you can hear me. Oops. Yeah, I tapped it twice. Yeah, yeah. Can you shut? I know. I just need to turn you off at one point. Thank you. Why is this song so loud? I turned on some music in the background and it's apparently just time to be loud. Hold on, I'm fixing this real quick because it just okay. It just didn't take any of the things that I was saying. Cool. Okay, there we go. Now it's at an actually manageable level. Now I can hear my thoughts again. To what I was saying, like you full committed in here, which is fine. This is what you want. Um, and now right now you should have pro committed because if you notice, the entire right side is just being watched. Because like shots can be watching over here. You're gonna have Pen watching with an angle like this. So like the right side is being heavily monitored. Not to mention your Pen's also over here. This isn't helping that right side issue. Like right now, the left side's free. And that's what Pro should be pushing. The thing is, if you notice, Pro sits here. And like, if the Pro really wanted to, Pro could be at like around here by now. The thing is, they don't. And what's gonna happen is like the enemy team's gonna Nezuko. And now suddenly, Final Weapon literally has zero space to work with. Like if their Pro pushed into here, this shot just kind of dies. Like, the shot just kind of dies for free. Pen can come back up and start taking space. They can go to snipe. Like, if they take snipe, this opens up a lot of things. Like, this entire angle kind of just gets covered. Now you're going to have your brush, and you're going to have your stamper coming back in. If they can jump in for free, like, you just have stamper push left side, you have brush go through left, and everything opens up really nicely. The issue is you're having a pro sit here. So, like, all of the space that you need or want to open up is dependent on being able to kill the shot here. Look, what happens instead is Zuko comes out, and none of the space can come online. And like, yes, it's only at 60, but this is also a really iffy position to be in, because the enemy team hasn't actually committed anything. Like, you kind of have Blast committed over here, and you kind of have Bucket committed over here. I only say kind of because this isn't really commitment from either of them. But you have no idea what these two want to do, which is going to be an issue. So like, what's probably going to happen, just what? Actually, I'm going to let this play out for a bit and just see what the issue is. Yeah. Like, I really want to point out the issue here. The enemy team actually didn't commit to anything. Because, like, what the enemy position was something like this. Like, it was something like this, and then they forced the right side. The issue is, the enemy team's already mostly on the left side of the zone. Yes, I know that I'm doing a weird angle, because you typically do this. I view things slightly weird. Like, most of the enemy team is already over here. And what you're doing is you're applying all of this force, which is great, but you're applying it over here. Which, mind you, there was only one player who was right here who wasn't committed, who's now over here. Which, again, this is fine if this is what you're looking for, but I don't think it is. Because, like, what you could have done to get just as much value is you keep your crab over here. Crab puts out all of this for us, which is great. But now you get your Stamper, and you have your Stamper go through here and fight with this. Because if Stamper's fighting off of this is just free kills. Like, literally, if you were to able to just, if you could just trade the position of these two players, this would be perfect. Because if you could have Stamp over here, these two are just gonna die. Like, this entire side is just gonna explode really quickly. The issue is it's just Stamper and Pen over here, which really isn't who you want over here. So, like, what's gonna happen? Yeah, like, this is literally the one thing I was afraid of happening with them doing that. Like, they just die over here, which, mind you, this position looks kind of familiar. Oh yeah, it was because the pro who was over here had the chance to get up to here and take this spot, and then they just didn't. So they're giving themselves extra time in disadvantage. But that's besides the point. Like, Shark gets a clean kill here, and now the enemy team has to deal with the fact that these weapons aren't suited to fight the enemy team. Stamper's good at fighting, but Stamper's good in a 1v1, not a 2v1. Or not a 1v2. And like Pen literally just requires the mechanics of the gods if you're trying to win a fight like this. So like all that you have left for all of your work is this funny little guy over here who's stuck in crab. And see, like moments like this is why I said what I did yesterday. If I think if crab and cooler gets removed from the scene, we get better. Because what happens a lot is we use crabs like this. We use crab as, oh yeah, we're gonna do entry. And then we do entry on like the wrong side. Or we use crab in a really stupid way. And what happens is what you get over here where the rest of your team dies. And suddenly the person who thought it was gonna be really funny to pop crab over here still has like 4 seconds of crab left. And they can't do anything about it. Like, cool, they get a kill out of it. The issue is, okay, you got a single kill in exchange for 1 teammate dead, 2 teammates dead, 3 teammates dead, in the bucket in your spawn. Also, I want to point out this is probably why they win this game is bucket goes all the way up here. Like, I want to point out something that the enemy team is doing, which is stupid. Their bucket was up here and they're backing up to snipe. It's risky, but if you get your bucket under here, it makes it really rough to get them out, period. And like you can get your shot up to here. And if you can get shot up to here, this is really good and really easy. I'm just gonna clear that, but you know what, I'm gonna swap to yellow because yellow makes me happy. So I'm gonna be swapping colors a lot because I don't care. But like what's happening right now is the enemy team is hard competitive on this right side. So realistically, what you want to do is put one person behind them and have the rest of the team push a different angle. So like you can have Brush go all the way over here, which is great, because this is going to make the right side of you. And then you can have the Stamper push over here. Because if Stamper can push over here while Brush is pushing over here, they have to deal with 2 things in the back of their mind. And it's really going to split their structure. Like, let's say Bucky goes for this, Shot goes for this. It'd probably be reversed, but I don't care right now. Like, you just kind of get this straight out, so the only thing that you have to worry about is Pen, which, again, Pen is fine, but I really don't think Pen is this big, like, scary menace of a threat. And, like, what happens is they try to force right side. Like, the Stamper tries to go over here and force right side. And what happens is, oh, look, the enemy team is already controlling the right side. They're just going to shoot you. Which is literally just what happens here. Like, the bucket going up to here, waiting and going up back, isn't an invitation to take the right side. It looks like it is. Because it's like, oh yeah, they just backed up. Cool. Let me just follow that. The issue is now, like, if you try to jump right side, everything's here. Because Bucket's going to be here. And keep in mind, Bucket can also just go back in. Like, the Brush has the right idea, but I think Brush is angling to do this, which is the wrong play. Like, what Brush needs to do right now is go all the way behind and just buy as much time as possible. Yeah. Like, look what I said. Like, literally, I don't even need to see what happens for this. It's kind of insane. Because they push it over here. And, like, the issue with this is, again, the enemy team is controlling this entire box. Like, you can't fight this side. Like, they're so committed to dropping right side when there's zero reason for it. Like, if left side's ever open, and you notice there's a ton of force on the right side, you want to send one or two people all the way over here. Because it relieves pressure on this box. Like, let's say the few people in this box stay here, right? Cool. What you're going to do is you're going to keep your pen here, and you're going to get your row, who's like going to be spawning in a second. You're going to get them to jump all the way over. And like the second that you jump, you have two players all the way over here, and then you have three stuck in this box. The reason this is honestly really nice is you just have both of them turn and shoot, and then the shot dies. Like the second shot dies, the two people who are over here suddenly are a lot more threatening. Because like now the people who are trapped in the box have to deal with like two threats. Because you're gonna have people who are wanting to run in. You're gonna have to deal with the pen who's gonna be standing here and has a sightline like this. And then you're gonna have to deal with two people from here who have sightlines like this, and you're probably going to have the brush go all the way around and just try to slap them. Just slap things. The issue is they hard commit to the right side. Like if you notice there's a ton of people in one area, like over here. This isn't an invitation, or like it's not demanding you need to push this side. All that you need to do is relieve some of the pressure. Like if someone can flank over here, you relieve one person's worth of pressure. Like let's say that you don't need to worry about this bucket anymore, right? You can deal with two people guarding on the right side. You can't deal with three people guarding right side if you're wanting to drop right. Like not even Tent can get away with that, and Tent has crimes because it has a shield. And like now what's happening is they're trying to push left side, but it's too late. Because now if you look at the box over here, it's only one person. But now what's happening is the enemy team is making a box like this. And like they're totally just playing into it. Like I know that Final Weapon ends up winning the set, but watching this game, I really don't think they should have won the set. Like they're misplaying so insanely hard because they're just giving the enemy team what they want. Like you have tools to fight, and then you fight where they want to go. Like this is kind of a rule of thumb that I look for in positions. I'm gonna back up a little bit. Because this is something that I look for all the time, and I actually will actively encourage people to do. I look into one area and see if there are two people here, right? If there's two people here, this area is going to be hard to contest. Don't get me wrong, it's not exactly going to be free. But this isn't an area that you can't contest, period. However, if you see that like there are three people in a box, this is an area you literally under no circumstances can contest. Like, unless you feel like committing entire specials, sure. Like, if you see three people and they're trying to make a box, just let it be. Just give them a box, move somewhere else. Like, it's not like there's a limited number of, like, you don't need to fight them where they are. Because realistically, what you can do is just see with one person who's alone, and then you just cap zone. Because, like, the thing that wins the game is this funny little thing. So, like, this is literally all you ever have to worry about, is what can I do to hold this and get my score lower than theirs. Like, all that you need to worry about is how can I get my score to 21 and stop them here. That's all you have to focus. And the easiest way to do that here would be going right side. Like, literally what this looks like is JP has this notion of, oh yeah, we're better than the West. We can just do everything better than the West, but you can fight better than the West. Which is a lie. I honestly think we're pretty even in terms of like mechanics. I think JP puts themselves in spots to fight more than the West, but that's it. And like what happens here is, yeah, like game ends here just because they hard commit left side. And I'm gonna point out this is where this is gonna work because your Stamper drops right side, and they aren't trying to fight the fucking box of three people over here. So like Stamper's gonna get in, they're gonna be able to half cap zone. Like if you notice, there's still this box on the left side. Like the people over here literally cannot contest like zone. Like if everyone just dropped right and just said, okay, we're just gonna paint this little bit of zone. This is a free cap. This stops. Like this is what 7 plus. So you'll have to give me a second while I'm doing some rough math. It's probably like 7 plus 60. That is terrible, some terrible numbers. Oh, should I just use whatever? Give me a second. I hate drawing on keyboard. But you have people over here, like you. Hold up, no. Where's the enter button? There we go. Like you have 3 people over here, and literally all you have to do is this, and this is your game state. Because like if you commit your 2 players over here, right? Like let's say you put pro over here, you put brush over here. Brush just paints this entire area. You get penalty back. You're chilling. Pro can go all the way over here and just make the pen. Like pen just dies over here. And then what you can do is you have Stamper just wrap around. Because if brush doesn't instantly die, you can just clear the box. The thing is, you don't need to clear this box first. This is what you clear after. The thing is, like, the enemy team overcommits to this side. Or not the enemy team, Final Weapon commits to this side really hard. Like, that's the biggest issue with Splat, is they just don't give themselves the chance to pens on. And like, yes, they half-cap, but they're stuck in this game of half-capping. And if you notice, oh hey, look, here's another fuck-ass crab. Sorry, I hate crab. If you want to see more about me talking about crab, go on my Blue Sky and look at my Blue Sky and look at the VOD review I did for F2. You'll see why I hate crab. Because there were a lot of like this crab is the exact same crab as like almost all the crabs I saw yesterday. But at this point, it's just too late for them to cap. I just kind of just by accident chose a lot of games where they lost, which is fine. That really isn't the end of the world. But in this case, it just kind of is what it is. I also wanted to choose a game of Humpback because I thought Humpback would be interesting with a comp. And this comp is actually really interesting and kind of fun in my opinion. Like, don't get me wrong, it's really vanilla. Like, I think if you trade this for like a Winter Rapid, you'd go crazy. But in this case, they don't do that, which is, it is what it is. Okay. Oh wow, these comps are literally almost identical. Like, the main difference you have is shot for brush. This is gonna be a mess. Oh wait, I was gonna pick pink and then I realized this team is pink. This is so sad. Yeah, so I actually like this opening a lot more from them. Because like what the enemy team does is they box themselves in over here. And like the reason this is really good is this should allow the final weapon to just kind of put the rush in over here and just get kills. And you commit your S-Blast in here, you commit your bucket in over here. And suddenly this entire area just kind of gets hit by so much chip damage and fall off. And they just do this a lot slower than I like. And the reason that this matters to me is, like, let's say that you have a Dryad standing here. Yes, they run a bit more risk, but they can instantly put damage on these two. Like, let's say that you get the S-Blast over here, you instantly trade S-Blasts. Like, if they're playing, like, a 5 feet forward, what happens is you trade their bucket, you trade their S-Blast, you trade their shot for your brush and your S-Blast. Because there's an angle in particular which I'm thinking about where you actually can't get hit by pen. The issue is they're a few seconds back, so this is going to go even. Oh no, I stand corrected in the worst way. Their Dread just needs to go in. And same with their S-Blast. Like, right now the enemy team is so confined to this little area that they just need to go force the fight. Like, literally, if you have Rush and Dread just force over here, these two are going to die. You just kind of go and say, okay, we're just going to trade S-Blasts real quick. Like, we're just going to trade Gray for S-Blast, which is fine. And now the only thing that you have to worry about is a pen fight. Oh, hold up, give me 2 seconds. I need to go grab a charger. I'll be right back. Again, this time I remembered to actually unmute, and I didn't do that last time. And we learn from those mistakes. Okay. Yeah, like right now they're in such a good position where they can do almost anything they want. They just have to push it. The thing is, if you push this slightly slow, this push actually falls through, which is what ends up happening. Because like I want to point out the one that I was saying, you have a Rush who goes in and then you have go back. You have Dread who raves here, and then the S who was here, they back up. Like literally, you have all three of the enemy team main players over here. Like you have all of their main fighting weapons over here. Just go fight them. Like you, like the issue is there's this insane game of footsies of, oh yeah, we're gonna go and then we're gonna back out because everyone's afraid to die. Literally, I think if you're fine with the mindset of, yeah, we're just gonna go in and we're just gonna trade everything, it works out very well. Because like let's say that all of them go in, right? Let's say all of them die except the pens. I'd say that works in their favor. So like you trade S Blasts out in an earlier position, you kind of just go send your Dread in. This kind of just trades out. You trade Bucket for your Brush. Cool, everything dies. I'm gonna get off this pause frame so I can. Oh, okay, the two S Blasts immediately moved. Like right now, Final Weapon is in control of them, which is literally all that matters. Because like by the time that everything respawns, this is gonna probably be at like what 78, like somewhere around 78, which isn't a lot. But if you can just go forward and force 20 free points, go take the 20 free points. Especially because like what happens is if everything dies, you get pen up, you get final weapons pen up to here, and you get jumps in for free. So like these jump ins let like you take literally anywhere in this general area. Except again, you have lower points, which is what you're fishing for. Okay, hold up, let me check. Okay, cool. Just wanted to check my mic was still working because I was thinking about it. Like instead, what happens is they play this super slow, and what happens is they commit a reef slider and then just kind of kill themselves. The rush goes in and just gets a trade, which is fine. The issue is if you look like 10 seconds back, you literally could have gotten all of that for free. Like in this position, you don't have to do any fancy business with Reef Slider, you just kind of get your Dread to go in, you get your Brush to go in, and you get your S-Boss to go in. And if you do that, you don't end up in this really messy situation, which they end up in later. Because like, they put themselves in this position, where they have to fight a 3v2. I'm like, yeah, S-Boss is in position, this is fine, S-Boss should just trade, but they're gonna get traded out. And like, what's gonna matter is the fact that you're having S-Blast and you're having Shot, who are in mid, actively painting zone, which again, this is what you need. Like, I don't look at the score because I want to see when their push stops. Oh, they got to 76 anyways because they wanted to be slowly capping zone. Cool. But you very easily could have gotten here if you just fought it instead. Like, literally the only reason this works is because I think the enemy team over-respects the pen. Like, realistically, they should just say, okay, I don't care, we're just gonna hard commit and just trade the S-Blasts real quick. And then Shot can just kind of paint the zone, Pen can help paint the zone, and you literally just get cap for free. Like, it's impressive mechanics to be able to get your way out of that, but you shouldn't have to be in that spot in the first place. Like, now what's happening is they're all kind of bunching up on the left side. This is the exact same thing that I was critiquing the enemy team for. Because you don't want to put yourself in a position for that, because now you have the enemy S-Blast push in, you have the enemy bucket push in, and you just explode. In this case, it doesn't happen because they want to come into a booyah for some reason, which I don't understand the idea of it. Like, just go shoot them and you can booyah after. And Bucket's a little afraid of pushing. Like, even if it's not in the exact spot that happens, because they go here, they make it super obvious where they are. So Dread gets over here before dying, Rush gets over here and then dies. And like now they're in a really weird spot because this entire right side is unpainted. And like Pen's just kind of left alone and left. So like now what they have to do is they have to play this weird game of how do we get back in? As Splat is stroking, this is fine. I just kind of again I want to do what I did last game. It's just win up box shenanigans and just where the enemy team is sitting. Like this is fine, let this play out for a little bit. Like literally you have Espas get in here, and there's two very obvious sides. Like you can notice where all of these players are. Like right now, Shot's not actually going to be doing much because they're just sitting in mid because they're wanting to Zuka something, which I have takes to whatever. But you really only have to worry about the left side. And the easiest way to do this is just say, okay, does the left side offer us any value here? Like left side can mix. Why is my pen being weird? Like left side can let you go all the way in over left. You can get behind them. You can do all of this, all the funny business. But you can also get into the zone through here, or through here, or through like here, for example, or just go all the way behind. Like the right side offers a lot of different options that you can work with. But the issue is that they just take a year for this. Also, I'm sorry, I'm looking at this S-Blast. Just go shoot Gray, please. Like, what happens is they wait a year because they're too busy shirking, and they get painted over by their own teammate. Like, they literally get griefed by their pen over here. But they just wait a second so they don't just outright kill Gray. Because if they outright just kill Gray by just, shooting early, I'm just going to go to the perspective because I want y'all to see I'm not bullshitting. For saying just kill Gray. Because they get in and they're like, okay, cool, you shark in, great. Like, you're in a spot here, you can literally see them and just shoot them. Like, if they shoot them on the left side, this is free. The issue is they wait for them to start going uphill, which the enemy player is already moving. You can't track that. Like, sure you can, but there's no reason to make yourself track that. Like, if you shoot literally, like, 3 seconds earlier, you just get a free kill. Like, literally, Fast Blast just was like, okay, I see you, I'm going to burst you, and then I'm just going to indirect you. There you go, you have a free kill, then you deal with a shot, then you run in a mid for free. Instead, they decide that they're going to wait, and then they just die for it. And, like, this ends up being in a really messy situation, because what they do is they fight this left side, which is totally fine. Like, Pen ends up getting in, they kill the bucket, great. And then you have Brush get behind him. This Brush is actually unknown, I think. This gives you a really good situation. The issue is you don't have your S-Blast. Like, cause your S-Blast went on, you're kind of choose your own adventure. Like, something that I see happen a lot, especially on this stage, is it's kind of a choose your own adventure stage. And it never works out as a team. Because you have someone who wants to go in over left side, you have someone who wants to go in over right side. But there's two responses, because you have someone who wants to sit here on bunker on left side, and then you have someone who wants to go in over here and fight on this side. Which is totally fine. But the issue is none of this is coordinated. Like, there's no player who's, like, going here and it's like, okay, I'm going to deal with you if you're trying to shoot my teammate, or I'm going to deal with you if you shoot my teammate. It just is kind of a choose your own adventure. Or, like, what ends up happening is you have people who do this, trying to coordinate with this play, and it just doesn't work because it's out of sync. Like, honestly, that's probably something I'll save for a different day, since I want to talk about calling anyways with a few other people on stream, or in a call, and I'll just stream that. Like, there's a reason that I push really hard for calling with the people who I coach and the people who I play with, because yes, I am really, really stingy about it, but like, I also think it is really, really helpful to those who will commit to it. Okay, give me back my pen. I was looking at something. Because like, if you notice, literally what happens is, okay, you have your S-Blast push in, they don't get in, they die. So that side fails. Cool. You have your teammate get in over here, they get a kill, great. But it's only now when the Dread starts moving, and now you have this weird little fight over here. Which is which I'm just gonna ignore because that literally is just kind of who has the better aim. And like now you end up in this really weird spot where you have Brush who's trying to go all the way behind and over. Dread's probably trying to help deal with the bucket over here, and Nesboss is trying to focus the bucket. Like, there's no one cohesive plan I can point to and say, yeah, this is what they're doing. This is why they're doing it. Like, this ends up working just because I don't think they were expecting Pen to respond when they did. Like, now you're running into the issue of, like, is someone going in? Is this Brush just going to go over here? Like, I don't see what the plan is here. And, like, what ends up happening is it seems like no one wants to go past here. I see someone's wanting to go over here. I think it's the S-Blast. It's the S-Blast. Like, someone's wanting to go up through here, which is great. The issue is the rest of the team isn't going past mid. Like, a really similar concept that I was talking about yesterday. So there's like a few areas that you want to worry about on zones. So you have the area which is directly before zone, which is where you're fighting for. You have the zone itself, which this is the end out. Like, this is literally what wins you games. And then you have your side, effectively. So cool, these are the main areas. You want to make sure that you have more of your team. Excuse me, Pen, I wanted blue, thank you. Like you want to make sure you have more of your team over here. Because if you do that, what they have to start doing is they have to start spatuling from here into here. Or like if they're trying to swim in, they have to swim in here, and then suddenly they have to deal with a fight over here. And the reason that matters is it just lets you hold a zone no longer. Which again, this is very obvious stuff. The reason I point it out is, like, let's say this is the box. Like, let's say that this entire area is... why is my pen being so finicky? Like, let's say this entire area is the box, right? Cool. That's great. Why is there only one player who's up here, who's in the box, or trying to get into the box? Because, like, you have your Brush down here who's not in the box. You have your Dredge who's back here who's not in the box. And then you have Pen playing for cooler, which is fine. Not really, but I'm not going to yell at them. And then S-Blast jumps out, and the issue here is the enemy team can get up to here for free. And now what's going to start happening is, oh yeah, the enemy team is going to be getting specials. So where are the specials going to go? Oh, right onto zone. Like, yet again, the issue is the enemy team is literally giving up zone to these specials. Like, this is just my approach to it. There's multiple different approaches. Like, obviously, the best approach is you just get your players here and here and here and, like, here. Or you put your pen here, you get your brush, like, up here, you get two people over here. There's so many ways you can work around it. This is the best solution, is you get everyone up here. If you can't do that, though, what you do as soon as you start seeing specials is you say, okay, we're just going to go all the way up here and start fighting. And the reason this matters is suddenly the specials that are coming onto zone, like because they're wanting to be a zone. Like let's say they be a zone, cool, this half cap zone, whatever. The enemy team actually can't follow it in because you have a brush sitting here. So you don't stop them from firing specials onto zone, which is an issue. But you stop the follow-up after the specials, which is going to be even more of an issue if you don't deal with it. The issue is they don't. So like if you notice, they literally pop specials, and now suddenly, like, final weapon is all the way in the back foot. And like stuff like this is also why I will forever say JP are not gods, because like no. The only reason that NA is losing is because we make these mistakes. We make the exact same mistakes they do. Like, this ends up happening, and if you notice, what's happening is, like, they're literally just, okay, I'm gonna strike on the zone, I'm gonna be on the zone, like, over here, and now you're just having Zuka come out. Like, everything is going through zone, because literally you only had the lone S-Blast who's trying to get up to over here. And they got zero support with that play. Yeah, and literally it's now just the pen because they waited for them to special. And like, hold up, I want to read this real quick. Oh, okay. Thank you, random creature. I'm going to. Oh, we love bots. Hold up, let me deal with this real quick, and then. Yeah, I'm gonna ban that message later. I just don't care right now. You can't have me being I can't be fucked right now to deal with all of that. Y'all can see the message and y'all can laugh. Anyways, I'm gonna go back into it real quick. Like something that I was pointing out earlier, you have brush pushing in here, you have dread pushing in here. On paper, this is great. They have to fight two fights, and these fights are uncoordinated. So like to take this fight, Dread has to expose themselves to fire to shot. To take this fight, like Brush can take it for free, but Dread's trying to help with this fight. It's really uncoordinated and messy. There was the idea of having like everyone go through left side, it seemed, because like Brush went through to here, and you have two people on Bucket, and like if you wanted to do that, that's fine. That would be fine. Like just go quickly kill Bucket. You just wrap around behind. The thing is, it's uncoordinated and unfat, and it's super slow. So what you end up having happen is yes, the Bucket dies, but no one takes this line over. You have your Rush die to the shot that the Dread should have been fighting anyways. You have the Dread drop, and they're gonna die here. Now your S-Blast is just in Narnia. So like the only person who you're having actually get set up is your pen, and all that your pen can really do is go, I'm gonna just sit here and paint the square. Which isn't that much of a threat. Yeah. And like now you have the S-Blast drop, which again, S-Blast dropping is fine in and of itself. It's in coordination with everything else. Like that's always been the issue when I've been looking at, or that's been the issue when I've been looking at these most recent top level games. Is like all of the pieces by themselves are great. It's just not combined at all. So what you're having happen is like there's just kind of a death bit over here. And like it ends up working out for them, I know, but just really only ends up working out because they just out mechanic the enemy team. This isn't we are being the better team. Because there's a really important distinction there. Like this ends up working, sure, but like it's just not nearly as effective. And like yet again, they're sitting behind zone. Like they need to go all the way up. Like you have a brush go up there, you can jump. Like you jump your dread up, you can jump your S blast who's respawning. Like jump your S blast up, you can get your dread to go all the way over here. They can start dealing with this ledge. Like there's so many ways you can do like so many things and make sure they can't get zone for free. The issue is that they're just letting them into zone for free. Like this little area that I'm gonna be boxing in, like this is literally the one. Like that's one of two areas on the map you have to look at and make sure they can't keep. Like this is the other area. That's what I'm gonna be a bit of a perfectionist here. Like these are literally the only two areas you need to keep an eye on the entire during the entire game. And like a really easy way that you can do it is you're just gonna go get your brush and you're gonna just put your brush here. And then what you're gonna do is you're gonna get your pen up to here and you're gonna sit them there. You're gonna get your dreads somewhere in this mess and you're gonna put your S over here so they can do whatever they feel like. They just aren't pushing it past the zone. Like this is actually good because you get the pen pushing up. I want to point out the issue. They commit 4 people up here, and the enemy team doesn't have to fight them. Like they literally do not need to fight them because they left the left side so open. Like yes, they double back to try to fight, but it's almost too late. Like in this case, it works because they pop 2 specials, but you have to realize that they burned 2 specials when they could have just gone up here anyways and just shot them. That was not a good X, but whatever. Like there's so many ways that you can do it. You just have to go. And like if you notice, the issue is you now have gray and now have the Bucket, who are separated. Now granted, you actually have Pen in like the best spot possible. This is where you want your Pen. Like your Pen up here, life is very good. Or no, your Pen's up there. They're having to have a Pen 1v1. Yeah, Pen wins their fight. Like what ends up happening is there's 3 separate 1v1s. So you have the Pen 1v1 over here, you have the S-Boss Bucket 1v1 over here, and you have the S-Boss Dreadringer like 1v1 over here. Like you're fighting 3 1v1s. And the thing with 1v1s is they're typically a 50-50. Like you don't want to rely on these fights being a 50-50. Because like let's say Pen loses this fight, okay. Like Final Weapons Pen loses this fight, suddenly the enemy team's painting up to here. And suddenly they half cap. That's not ideal. Okay, let's say that they lose this fight over here. Bucket's now just going to come over here and start painting the square. Or like, let's say you lose this fight over here. S-Blast is literally already in position to start painting the zone. Like, the second any of these fights fall through, they lose zone. Like, in this case, S-Blast jumps out, and now you get, like, this rebirth situation. Like, right now, you're also running into an issue of your Pen is alone. Like, if Rush could jump up here, like, this is a really good position because you just kind of have Rush jump up and you just go fight that shot. And shot dies and you just kind of trade Pens out. Because all that you need is someone to be in this position to make sure the enemy team can't have it. And you just have your Dread watch this angle. Yeah, like that's kind of what happens. It's just, again, like, this area, which is important, just gets left alone. Like, they just are inviting the enemy team to come in. Like, the best way that I can describe effectively what they're doing is, okay, they're building, like, this really, really impenetrable fortress because they're at war with someone. And then they just leave the gate open. That's not how this works. This works because you close the door. Like, you don't give them this in. Like, you need to shut them out and keep them away. But they just aren't. Like, literally, that's why the zone ends up getting capped. Because realistically, there's zero reason the zone should have flipped. Like, again, they're playing this really messy game where they're having to fight, like, over here. And, like, when you have to fight people who are already standing here, you're kind of already losing because they can just paint the square. In contrast, if you are fighting people, like, if this is, like, all your team's color, and, like, this area is all your team's color. Why is my pen being iffy? Thank you. Like, now you only have to worry about them fighting over here. Like, they could stand here, they could stand here, they could go all the way over here, they could try to go flank. Like, this is super easy to control what they're doing. Because even if it's a flank, it just takes this person going over here and shooting them. The issue is they're just letting them in. But you have to be fighting far in front of the zone, not just in front of the zone or in the zone. And I don't know why I'm needing to say this, because this has been something we've agreed on since forever, but we aren't doing it. And just kind of what ends up happening from that is they just let the enemy team in for free, and now, again, they have to go back. They're going back to this corner. Like, the enemy team can just push zone, and they're just stuck in this corner again. Like, I'm going to open the graph, I'm expecting to see 2 deaths. Oh, no, they kind of just skill difference the enemy team. Or skill diff the enemy team. Okay. Like, yeah. Like, what ends up happening here? Like, you have Dread trying to go in over-focusing zone for the idea of capping, which I don't like, but I understand the concept. But, like, what happens is there's some good teamwork to kill over here. And now they just have to win 1v2s. Like, S-Blast just kind of hits a direct. Like, I literally just wanna look at the S-Blast here and just go to their perspective, because I want to point out how this push works. Because this push literally only works because the S-Blast are just better players than them. Because, like, S-Blast possibly are cool. They really quickly just win this fight without their Pen. Like, Pen gets this kill here, they go in. Cool, they one-shot the shot. They see Pen. and then they just kill the pen. And then they literally just kill here. And they effectively get a second kill there. Like, the only reason that worked is because you're relying on a top player having good mechanics. And as I will like forever stand by, if you need to rely on having a good mechanics, something has gone very wrong in your play. Because like good mechanics get you out of a bad situation. But bad mechanics will win you a good situation. Like, they get a wipeout, but again, I want to point out that was literally only because the S-Boss made a hero play. Yeah, look, I'm just watching this. I can keep saying the same thing over and over of how they're just letting the enemy team in. Because, like, I just want to point out they let the enemy team in, they strike, and then they cap. That's all that's been happening this entire game. Like, they end up striking, they end up capping here because they're slow on this pole. Like, I'm gonna stop looking at this game because it's literally just going to be the exact same thing. Like, you can look at this, and oh, hey, look, they're actively pushing. And then they lose, then, like, the enemy team caps with strikes, and that's the game. Because they just have to cap at the end. Like, I'm gonna go back to the start of this game because I want to have a fresh canvas to be able to work with. Like, literally all that would be required to knock out is to go up to here. Like, get someone up here, and then you win. Like, the biggest issue is they're letting these areas be uncontested. Let's take pink, because this is actually accurate. Like, what they're letting happen is they're letting the enemy team come in, because like they're letting this side come in for free. They're letting this side come in for free, so like a player can go here and paint. They're letting people stand here so they can get strikes off. Like, literally, the second they stop caring and they just start saying, "This is ours now, deal with it," they just kind of win the game. Okay, I'll do one more for the night, especially given that, yeah, stream has been going on. Like, by the end of the stream, will probably have been going on for 2 hours. I am really interested in this comp because I like what the comp wants to do. But I'm also terrified to see how they play this because I know how people play Pain. Yeah, this is about what I expected. Okay, I'm sorry, I need to point something out with this school. Give me a silver pen. Because what happens is they end up popping a cooler right here, right? Which, this is on paper fine, like it is what it is. I don't care too much about it. The issue is your teammates need to go all the way back here to grab it. And if they have to do that, something is really wrong. Like, people need to stop placing coolers all the way over here. If you're placing a cooler, get it up here. Like, cooler should be something that you can easily grab and isn't taking you on a like massive journey to grab it. Like, you shouldn't need to go on the like journey of enlightenment. Just to be able to like, you shouldn't be going on a journey of enlightenment just to be able to, get cooler. Because if you have to do that, it really is a big issue. Like, who are so far back, you can't do anything with it. I also want to point out something at the opening. This is just my taste. If you can, you always want someone pushing to the opposite side. Because there's just such an insane investment on the right side that what happens is you just kind of trap yourself in this box. Like, if I'm the enemy team and I'm really wanting to just play this as safe as possible, I'm just going to put shot here, I'm just going to put pen over here, and I'm just going to bucket to just go run past everything. But if you have someone push like over here, that's not as possible because if Shot tries to go here and just watch you just shoot them, and you can go up to here and you start threatening a lot of things. Which is kind of what ends up happening. In this case, like, this opening is really, really stupid because what happens is they're like, oh yeah, we're just gonna have our pen paint like the entirety of our spawn real quick to get missiles. The issue, they're popping missiles and 2 people are dead. Like, if you're popping special on opening and 2 of your teammates are dead, that either means that you need to stop using special, which typically it's this one, or you need to get it faster. Like, I feel the answer typically is just go fight first. And then, like, this is fine, but none of what's been happening on this game has really been anything with team coordination. Like, I'm gonna back up because they should be able to actually cap it. No, Pain doesn't want to cap. I respect it. Like, I want to just point out what happens here and how there's 0 team coordination going on. Because, like, you have S-Blast who goes over here, right? Like, you have this little hint of coordination. Cool. S-Blast dies, that's honestly fine, this just happens. But the only reason they die is because Bucket goes here and S-Blast wants to go up here. So they get left alone. Cool. You now have this little hint of coordination. Except your Daffles goes all the way in over here, and your Pain just stops here. Like, none of these plays are coordinated. It really just feels like they're running in and just expecting mechanics to carry them. It's like, literally, here's a good example. Like, Bucket goes up to here, Dapple goes up to here, and your Pain is all the way in Narnia. Like, if these missiles are popped up here, yes, I know they add a little bit more risk, but Pain can go and fight off them. The issue is they don't, and then you have Dapples coming in alone, and then you have Pain coming in, again, alone. Like, it half works, but it doesn't work because it's a good team play. It just works because the enemy team respects themselves, like, respects the enemy team too much. But, like, here, Bucky goes in too early and Dapples are a second too late. Like, there's not any team play going on there. I will admit retaking on the stage is weird. Like, the answer that I have is I want to go through here. So if they're setting that up, I respect it. The issue is, again, like, you're having these massive changes in position. And, like, none of this is really being coordinated with itself, if that makes sense. It's like you have Cooler going on, and cool. But you have the S-Boss who's wanting to own over here. They now go all the way back for this Cooler, and then they're probably going to go all the way in. Like, I just want to point out this line, because this is where you started from. We agree this looks silly, right? Like, I just want to watch the S-Blast and like, double back. Yeah, like, look at the S-Blast. I guess it's not that exact line, but does it really matter? I don't know, it's really odd to me because, like, right here, if they coordinate with Dapples to just bullets forward here, like, you literally have a 3v1 on Pen. Pen gets dropped like a sack of potatoes. You have a 3v1 on Shot, and this thing just explodes. And then you just have to deal with the lone Bucket over here. The issue is there's 0 coordination with itself. So you have the S-Blast who wanted to go in over here, who would have been on pace to actually deal with Dapples, who, again, Double was back. I actually don't know what the Bucket was doing. I kind of want to watch this just for the sake of science and knowledge. Yeah, like, Bucket literally does the same thing. Like, Bucket had the chance to go forward and match pace with Dapples. They then back up, and then they can't go forward in time. Like, again, if you want to do stuff with Cooler, you need to start placing your Coolers over here. Because when you're placing Coolers over here, what you're having to do is you're making teammates go back for them. And when you're doing that, you start adding, like, multiple seconds to your pushes. If you can start putting coolers like here, for example, the S-Blast can just go over here, grab cooler for free. Bucket drops here, grabs cooler for free. Dapples goes here and grabs cooler for free. Like, the only person who wouldn't be getting cooler in this case is the Pain, but the Pain was already so far forward, it doesn't matter. And you don't need all 4 of your teammates to grab cooler, you just need enough. And then, like, here, this is kind of where everything starts falling apart because, like, the earlier part of the push wasn't coordinated. Why am I getting... Sorry, I'm seeing I'm getting damped by the mesh. It's not important. Oh, okay, I really don't care. Okay, cool. Like, what ends up happening is Dapple's stuck in here alone, right? Now you have the Bucket who's trying to strike over here, which is fine. But again, I'd much rather you just be able to work with and fight off your Dapples. And then, like, you have the S-Bus who's over here, and they can't really do anything. Which, mind you, again, the S-Bus had the chance to do this. But what the S-Bus ends up doing instead is they go forward, they go back, they grab cooler, they go up, they go back, and now they're going over here. This line is so messy, and this line takes like 10 seconds to move. At least. I think it's closer to 15 in the game. Like, yes, they get in. And yes, they're gonna cap zone here, but like... Or I think they cap zone. Yeah, they do. Like, this capping the zone is not because of teamwork, this is in spite of teamwork. Like, again, kind of a similar thing here. Like, look at the disconnect in teammates. Like, you have two teammates over here, you have your S-Bus who's needing to fight alone. Like, neither side can actually help the other. Like, here would be another example. Like, Bucket goes forward. This is great. This is what you want to see because this pen is, like, putting themselves in a spot where they can die. But, like, Pain can't actually do anything right now. So what happens is Bucket goes in and dies, which is fine. That happens with some plays. But, like, no one can take advantage of it. And, like, here, okay, Pen gets in, Pen gets... Or, not Pen, Pain. Like, Pain gets all the way behind here, great, you kill the Pen, you're drawing some attention, like, Shot's gonna be looking at you. But again, there's zero coordination up front. Because, yeah, like, you have the Apples who are going over here, and you have the S-Bus going over here. Like, these are going on two opposite sides of the stage. They cannot help each other. Like, if S-Bus and Apples went over here, this thing gets traded out or dies instantly. Or, other side, like, if Dapples and S-Bus go over here, Bucket dies almost instantly. Like, the plays that are happening up front, like, are literally dismantling everything that's happening behind the enemy team. Like, Pain ends up getting sniped, that's fine. Like, again, I want to just point out, you have your S-Bus who's going here towards zone, and you have your Bucket who's wanting to fight over here or over here. Also, again, your Pain was alone. Like, none of these players can actually help each other in a fight. It ends up changing a little bit, but it's not actually taking advantage of them. Like, they lose the game here because they just don't work as a team once. It's like, again, I just want to point this out. Like, you have Bucket going in, you have Dapple backing up, and you have S-Bus wanting to go in. That's a really ugly line. Okay, holy. Like, you have S-Bus wanting to do something like this. It's just, like, look at where all of them want to end up. You want Dapples ending up over here. You want your Bucket ending up over here. You want your S-Bus ending up over here. Tell me how this makes sense. I'm just going to clean this up so it looks nice and pretty. Like, Dapples literally want to be over here. Bucket wants to be over here. S-Bus wants to be over here. And mind you, like, Zone is actively taking down. Like, this is a really, really bad losing position, and you're doing nothing to make it better. Like, if I can draw, like, I can literally triangulate where this fucking decat is. Why am I able to do that? Just go forward and shoot them, please. There's no need for any fancy business. And, like, literally what ends up happening is Bucket goes in, and they just die because they're alone. Dapple goes back, so the S-Blast dies because, again, they're alone. So now you have your Dapples, and, like, Pain was probably jumping in because I'm not seeing the cursor. But you have both of them needing to win a 2v3. Which I'm not going to sit here and say it's impossible, but I'm not going to say it's easy. And, like, again, at this point, it's just so separated. Like, you have Pain who's wanting to go over here, you have Bucky going in over here, and you have Dapples over here. Like, literally at any given time, like, I don't think at any point in the game I saw them have a position that looks like this, where it's just three people next to each other where they can all fight it. Because if they do that, they literally just kind of win the fight for free. I don't know. It's just really, really odd to me. Especially because, like, a lot of this is pretty preventable, and I feel we all know this. Because this is stuff that was being talked about, and this was issues I was having back in D5 and 2. Like, we're letting these issues pop up again at top level, which is insane to me. Anyways, these are all the games that I had. I kind of just chose at random, and I unfortunately ended up choosing a ton of losses compared to a few more wins, which I wanted. But honestly, it kind of works, because, like, I want you to compare the games that I was looking at today to the ones that I looked at yesterday, because they literally look almost identical in my eyes. Like, there really was no massive difference. There was no insane gap. It's just that I think JP is a little bit better of just pushing in slightly further, slightly faster. That's it. Anyways, so the people that tuned into, a late night stream, because I know in other time zones it's like, oh, what, yeah, like it's literally midnight in some time zones. Like, thanks for tuning in if you're watching later. Thanks. Hope this is enjoyable. I probably am going to be having general other reviews for SWS coming up eventually. But yeah, have a good rest of whatever time of the day you have. See ya.